Ken Mc Mullen, who has been part of the Farm to Home Fair for the past 3 years. And since today is all about celebrating community, shared agriculture, community-supported agriculture, it is a great pleasure to introduce Ken because he is the man responsible for bringing CSAs to Canada. And he's going to tell us a little bit about that right now. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Marianne. I wanted to give you a bit of background on what CSAs are. It's a word that has been coined and it's a bad word, so I call it home delivery. Home delivery is about taking crops and delivering them directly to your home, or you're going to a common spot. So I want to tell you a few of the common elements in community shared agriculture. First off is the deposit, the money up front. We need you to pay us money up front because most of my expenses go on during the spring. February, March, April, I've now got 80% of all of my year's expenses. So therefore, if you're not willing to give me a deposit, then I've got to go to the bank to borrow the money, and then I have to add to the cost of it. So therefore, a deposit is essential. It's also a commitment on your part. I want to know you're going to be there in September. In September, I have 35 varieties of tomatoes. I've got 16 varieties of peppers. I've got all of these crops coming on at the same time, and you're just getting back from the cottage and don't want to be bothered cooking food. So I've got to know that you're going to be there in September for all of my produce when it hits my kitchen. So therefore, the deposit helps in that way to make sure you're around. So it's a commitment on both parts, and it's a commitment for you to trust me. It's a direct relationship that we have with our customers, and it's a way of selling diversity. In the 1980s, organic farmers only had one outlet, and that was health food stores, and health food stores were very poor at marketing organic food. We didn't have access to farmers markets. We were laughed out of the terminal in Toronto, so the only way of distributing was getting access directly to customers. So therefore, we've invented the CSA, or home delivery, so that we've got direct access and can sell a large number of products. The large number of products is also based on what I eat. I'm the first shareholder and I'm the last share, which means that I buy into my farm first and I'm growing things that I'm eating throughout the season. The hardest part is June. June is a very difficult month to deliver because the spring crops are over with and the summer crops haven't started. So be aware that the people that you're seeing today have a very difficult task of making sure there's something every week or every second week in order to deliver to you. Because when I'm out harvesting asparagus, I'm not working the lettuce. So therefore, when the lettuce season delivery comes around, I may not have enough lettuce because I was picking asparagus for you the first time. And that leads to the second thing with CSAs, or community shared agriculture. We tend to have more than one farm. I've got 5 or 7 around me that I have different crops that I'm working with, and I have to develop a trusting relationship with them. So they fill in my gaps. I don't have blueberries, somebody else has blueberries. I give them asparagus to sell, they give me blueberries in exchange to sell. So there's a lot of trading going on, and we tend to be a broader community that we're supporting. So that's why it's often called community-supported agriculture, is because there's many more of us. One of the things that we have in particular with Spring Arbor Farm, we specialize in heirlooms from the late 1890s, from the 1800s. The reason for that is that 5 generations back, it's very difficult to maintain varieties. I can get something from my grandfather, but it's much more difficult to maintain a variety from my grandfather's grandfather. So therefore, we've concentrated on that period in order to bring back a lot of these old varieties. I will also sell every crop, 5 different ways. I'll sell it to you as a seed, I'll sell it to you as fertilizer, I'll sell it to you as transplant, I'll sell it to you as fresh produce. I take half of that and turn it into preserves, which I'll sell you, and then I package it together at Christmas time for gift baskets. So the other concept of community shared agriculture is continuous value adding throughout the season. Otherwise, if we're just selling fresh produce, we've got a very limited season from May until about September, till first frost. This way, we're always trying to expand the season and keep things growing. So therefore, when you support community-supported or community-shared agriculture, you're supporting diversity in agriculture, direct marketing, and you're also getting the most fresh food available to anybody. I always try and, for myself, I want to eat the best food in the world. And seeing that I'm eating the seconds from my customers, I'm eating the second best in the world, but the best food that you can possibly get is, first of all, it's fresh. Secondly, it should be seasonal. Third, it should be local. And fourth, it should be organic. If you can put those four together, you have community-supported agriculture, and you're not supporting large corporations and massive distribution channels. So I hope you go around and have some sympathy for the people who are trying to grow food for you, because it's an extremely complicated process. It would be impossible without electronics and computers to manage, and spreadsheets to manage the whole process. That's Spring Arbor Farm and Community Shared Agriculture. I hope you'll go around and talk to the farmers and get to know them.